Simon & Schuster Audio presents The Incorruptibles, Book 1 of the Incorruptibles series, by Lauren Magaziner. Read by Caitlin Kelly. To Carter Rogers and Anne McGrath, here's to the home we shared, the adventures we've had, and the stories we love. Our squad is the best squad. Chapter 1. Fiora was sewing brass buttons onto a new robe for a customer arriving tomorrow. That part was ordinary. The unusual bit was her uncle pacing behind her, dissecting her every move and yelping at periodic intervals. What was so important about this robe? Uncle Randall had been in tatters about it ever since the parcel of glittery rainbow fabric had arrived last week. The cloth was like nothing Fiora had ever touched before. Soft like velvet, shiny like satin, and durable like polyester. It was sparkly, too, catching sunbeams from every direction. The fabric never seemed to settle on any one hue for long. It was a changing kaleidoscope of colors, depending on the light. Uncle Randall had started working on the robe right away, and whenever Fiora had glanced at his work in progress, she'd had to fight the urge to try it on. And she'd never felt that way about the thousands of robes Uncle Randall had made for thousands of customers in the Temperates. Ordinarily, she just wasn't that interested in fashion. Fiora had learned the family business out of necessity, and she'd had no say in the matter. But she had the talent for sewing. Like it or not, she and her uncle were cut from the same cloth. "I should do this part," Uncle Randall said, biting his nails as he watched her thread a button. "Let me. Move aside." When she didn't budge, he leaned forward to reclaim the garment, but Fiora moved it out of his reach. She glanced at him curiously. "But I always do the buttons." "Not tonight. This is too critical to leave in an apprentice's hands." Fiora wrinkled her nose at her uncle and continued to work. There was a reason why she did the buttons. First, her hands were smaller, and her eyes were better. Second, Uncle Randall was the one who had taught her everything she knew anyway. He had been training her from the very moment she'd arrived at his house at 6 years old. It had taken her forever to master the basics. But a year later, after Fiora had finished her third embroidery, Uncle Randall had regarded—
Sample complete. Ready to continue?